So let's talk about the 6 mistakes that advisors make when they're doing their marketing.
The 6 mistakes? Let's talk about 6 of the mistakes that they make.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Fair enough. I think the first mistake is this: they don't market themselves the same way they spend their clients' money or invest their clients' money.
Yeah, I mean that's a classic problem that we see, I think, across the board.
Is when you're investing your client's money, you're thinking it through. Mm-hmm. You've got a process, or you have someone who is proven to deliver, and you hand your client's hard-earned money to them, knowing that they're going to do the best possible job at investing, right? But I see so many advisors who are basically taking their marketing dollars like a handful of spaghetti and shucking it and hoping that something somewhere connects.
Yeah.
And I'm like, guys, you would never act this way with your clients' money. Why are you doing it with your own? This is insanity. It doesn't make any sense to me. Maybe someone could explain it to me someday.
Yeah, it's the cobbler's children syndrome with the kids don't have shoes sort of
something.
thing. Right? Yeah.
What do you think the second one is?
One thing that I think we see over and over again is an advisor not looking beyond the client who's sitting in front of them, thinking about how to build upon that relationship with that client. And that goes for referrals. Maybe it's somebody who's got extended family. Thinking about the fact that what you're investing is ultimately going to be for the next generation. Well, let's get them into the mix. Let's have them be part of the process. And as a result, the logic is that family is going to be with that advisor, with that office for multiple generations as well.
Yeah. What's the stat that we heard not too long ago, that 70% of advisors had never spoken with their clients' children?
Yeah.
And I'm sitting here saying to myself, if you've got $2 or $3 million of somebody's money, are you really just sitting there saying to yourself, you know what, that money's going to disappear as soon as they die? I mean, as a thought process, this doesn't make any sense to me. Is you're so careful in dealing with that money, why not be equally careful with your own paycheck and realize that money is going to go somewhere? It's going to go to the next generation, and it's going to continue to build over time in all likelihood. Right? They're not just going to blow through it tomorrow. Is there a way that you can continue that relationship to the next generation and serve that next generation the same way that you're serving the current generation? I mean, we all know the stats about how big this coming wealth transference is. We know that it's the biggest wealth transference in history. And we all say, every advisor I've ever talked to wants a piece of that.
Yeah.
Right? Well, what are we practically doing? And I think the answer is generally nothing.
Yeah.
To be a part of it, other than I hope.
So the next one I want to talk about is the classic one that you and I see all the time, especially in networking events and other scenarios where an advisor gets up to tell everybody what they do. And what do? Anybody for everybody, anything for anyone, right? Whatever it is, I can do anything in the world that's related to money.
And you probably can. I believe you. I don't know that I believe you can do it well. I don't believe that I think even you're doing it. Do I think you can sell it? Yeah. Right? You can sell corn commodity just like you can sell an ETF. Congratulations. But tell me this. If you're in a room and someone says, I specialize in working with corn farmers from Nebraska, right? And that's who you happen to be, who are you going to go talk to? That guy or the guy who says, I work with anybody? You're going to say, no, I want to talk to the expert in my field. And it just so happens that there's one right here. And so how can you position yourself as the expert for a group of people?
Yeah, it's something that we firmly believe in, the importance of being super specific about what you do and who you serve. So this is another one that I think is kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't kind of thing.
Yeah.
And finding the happy medium is something that very few advisors do. And that has to do with automation and sort of the technology world and farming things out and all of that sort of thing. It's critical that advisors have a continuous communication with clients. And so what most advisors tend to do is either say, yep, I'm all in with regular communication, click, that takes care of my
Yeah.
communication, or I'm all in with regular communication, now I just got to find time to get it on my calendar and make sure that I pick up the phone and, or send that card that I never get to it, oh well, right?
Yeah.
But there's nothing in the middle that really is part of a systematic approach for advisors to deal with automated communications, service that's automated, et cetera.
Well, I think that's one of those hard things. Is either you're using too little automation or you're using too much. And the real challenge there is, if this is canned. One time I got 2 emails back to back from 2 separate advisors. Okay, it was the same email,
Same subject line and everything?
same subject line, everything. They work for different companies. They had bought the same email marketing service, and they're sending it out. I'm sorry. It just goes to show that too much automation is a bad thing. On the flip side, if you're not doing any, you're working yourself to death, and you're not being as communicative as you really want to be.
Yeah.
All right, let's go on to the next one. Trying to sell your product instead of trying to solve your client's problem.
Yeah. This is something that you and I used to do all the time. We would focus on the solution that we offered, right? You sold search engine optimization or Google ads. I sold Facebook ads without any real recognition of what it was that our prospect really needed.
Yeah.
And I think this is a way that a lot of advisors approach it, right? Whether it's, I work with this insurance company and we need to sell life insurance and, everybody needs life insurance, so let's start with that. Rather than focusing on the individual, their situation, their pain points, and then once you have established what those things are, then introduce what you have as the logical solution to that situation.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's the reason that so many advisors are so worried about compliance and marketing is they're taking this product first approach. And I think that one of the things that makes us somewhat unique is we're saying, don't lead with your product at all. Lead with your client's pain. Lead with the problems that they're having. And it's only after you're sitting down with them that you're even beginning to talk about product.
Yeah.
Product is the very last thing, because quite frankly, and I think this is the reality that we all need to recognize, nobody cares what your product is. What people care about is how do you solve the problem that they have. And that product could be virtually anything, right? It is if I came to you and I said, look, you've got cancer. The solution is I need you to rub elephant dung on your head and your cancer will go away. And it's been proven by this study. Guess what you're doing?
Unfortunately,
right?
yes.
Yes, right? Because you don't care what the solution is. You care about solving the true problem.
Yeah. So let's do one more. Number 6 is something that we classically see with advisors, and it's actually most businesses. It's let's get them in the door. Let's wine and dine them. Let's focus on how we can sell them, and then particularly with advisors, well, I only have an obligation to speak with you once a year, and I don't see any reason to do it any more than that. So nice knowing you. I'll see you a year from now.
Well, I think that there's this myth that advisors somehow still believe that their job is to invest their clients' money well, and that doing their job is sufficient to keep their clientele.
Yep.
Let me be the first to tell you, if all you do is work as a great advisor, and by that I mean you make a good return, and by that I mean you make 8 to 12% on an annual basis, guess what? Hundreds, thousands of other advisors are doing the same thing.
Yeah.
And what that means is you are completely dispensable.
It's your commodity. Whereas when you are building a practice that is all about the relationship, all about the ongoing investment, technical term, I guess, with your client in terms of nurturing that relationship, getting them to feel not just that you're their service provider, but an affinity for you, for your practice, right? That leads to so many other possibilities, and that's really part of our systematic approach to marketing, which is that you want to make sure that those clients love you. Because that means ultimately they stick around. Maybe there's further opportunities for them to invest in one way or another with you further, and it gives you the means by which to leverage that relationship into referrals.
Exactly.